My name is Marcus Taylor. I'm the head of the department here in Global Development Studies. If you did DEVS 101, either in class or online, you will know me because you'll have taken that course with me. But I'm just making this short video just to give you an idea of some of the advantages of taking Global Development Studies as a concentration. I understand you're choosing your majors, your minors, and your joint honours programs as we speak. And I just wanted to highlight some of the compelling features of the program that we've strategically designed over the last few years in Global Development Studies. So many people sort of say, well, what is the advantage of Global Development Studies when I come out of this program and I'm looking for a job at the other side of it? What is it going to give to me? So there's three really important things here, I think. The first thing is that we really do give very big global picture, right? You come into our courses and you're going to get to engage and know the world that's out there. And this is so important for many employers at the moment, from the public sector and the government through to the private sector and so forth. They are looking for graduates that have that kind of global knowledge, that are looking beyond the borders of Canada or elsewhere, and are looking for people that are engaged in the big issues that are defining our world today, whether that's questions of poverty, inequality, growth and development, whether it's climate change and sustainability, whether it's cultural change and cultural revitalization. These are some of the big issues. And employers are really keen that their workforces have this kind of global understanding. And if you're looking for a job and your employer doesn't want someone with a global perspective, then you're looking for the wrong kinds of jobs. These are the jobs that are booming at the moment. And that goes from the public sector through to the private sector. Second aspect of our program that's really compelling, quite different to some of the other sort of social science humanities aspects, is that we've really bulked up on some of the more practically orientated course options. So we have courses on development and practice. We have courses on NGOs and development. We have strategic researching practicums and so forth. We got these kinds of courses that give you the practical, tangible skills to go along with that more sort of abstract, big picture thinking, the essay writing and so forth. If you've done a course with me, you know that I say writing for different audiences is vital. And yes, it's important to be able to write academically, but it's also important to be able to write a compelling policy brief that gets your message across to policymakers, whether it's public sector or whether it's the CEOs in a social enterprise you're working for, whatever. So we practice those kind of skills quite deliberately, quite strategically. And the third thing that's really important about DEVS as a program, we give really good options for experiential learning. And this includes, for example, DEVS 410-411, which is our work study placement, which means that as you're going through third year, in the final sort of term of third year, you can work with one of our instructors very closely to set up a work opportunity, and then you'll go and do your work opportunity. It might be in Canada, it might be globally. Come back, reflect on it, write on your experience within the greater framework of DEVS, and you'll get 9 credits for this experience. So you actually get to do work study, go and work somewhere and so forth, and get 9.0 units of credit towards your degree. And this is just one of the examples. We also have a study in South Africa program that runs in the summer. And this year, for example, we have a work experience placement where you work in the local food system. You take a course on food systems at the same time, 6.0 units, practical experience and academic working together, which is, of course, what experiential learning is meant to be. So this kind of thing, this kind of global engagement, the big issues that the employers want their employees to be familiar with, but also practical skill building courses alongside it. This is what sets DEVS out. I'm going to just pass over here to one of our graduates, Hasina Daya, who is currently in Uganda, and she's just sent in a little video about her experience, both in the DEVS program and what opportunities this has led her to.
Hi there, my name is Hasina Daya, and I'm an alumni of the Queen's University Global Development Studies program. At the moment, I'm based in Kampala, Uganda, where I work for the Aga Khan Development Network. Before my time here in Uganda, I've had the opportunity to work and study in a number of interesting locations. In Kenya, in India, in Tajikistan, in Jordan, in the United Kingdom, and in Belgium. What I remember most about my time at Queen's has to have been the peers and the professors with whom I interacted. They enabled me to think about how I could be a local or a national or a global driver of change through an interdisciplinary course. The course brought together gender studies, politics, the health and environment, economics, and so much more. If this sounds up your alley or something that you'd be interested in, I highly recommend pursuing DEVS at Queen's.
So that was Hasina Daya, who's working in the field of international development. But let's be clear, the majority of our graduates do not actually go into work in development field. Rather, they use the transferable skills that they got from the DEVS degree to go into a range of occupations. And it's really, really broad what people end up working in. We absolutely have lawyers working in human rights. We have journalists working on global things, working in leading newspapers and radio across Canada. We also, of course, have people in the business sector working across social enterprise to big corporations and so forth. And clearly, we do have people that work at government at all sorts of levels, from a former student that's helping to design the transportation plan for sustainable transportation in the city of Toronto, through to levels of government, yes, working on international affairs, but also working on national governance issues. So we have a full spectrum there. And needless to say, DEVS is a really good vehicle into further study. Our students go on to do MAs in a whole range of things. Some of them go back to politics or to sociology or to geography or to keep in the field of development studies. Many of our former students are actually profs teaching in other institutions around Canada, from UVic through to Toronto. We have former graduates that are teaching at the academic level and doing research, etc. So what DEVS sets you up with is a really wide range of skills that really is targeted towards a variety of professional fields and options for further study. Got all of those things going on. So what do you need? Very briefly, to get into DEVS. So if you want to have the automatic entry, your ticket is punched in, there is a 2.5 GPA and I think a B- in either DEVS 101 or DEVS 100, depending on which entry course you did, and that's all you need. But that's just the automatic requirements. That just means that you don't need to wait, you're already in. The other way, of course, is that our list goes beyond that, and we admit people that don't meet those automatic requirements in mass as the system works through. So we will continue to admit students that either don't quite have the 2.5, have a lower GPA, or didn't get the prerequisite. Perhaps you're doing DEVS 101 online with me right this moment, etc., interested in DEVS. Apply. We're on the pending list. We just go through it and go, yes, 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 yes. So if you're interested in DEVS, if you have any questions, you can write me. You can write devs.student at queensu.ca, and we can answer your questions. No problem whatsoever. I hope you really strongly consider doing DEVS as a concentration. It makes a great major. It also makes a really good complementary minor or joint honours program. Lots of options there. If you have any questions, give us a write. Okay, take care.